Paul Harrison, and I'm going to walk us through a demonstration of Agile's Design Center. This application is a web-based application that gives you, the customer, the ability to make changes to the kiosk on your building and quickly change and alter their design and update certain settings and activate different features that are available on your kiosk. And it really puts the control in your hands to quickly make these changes and publish them as you see fit. Also, I have a kiosk that is set up and connected to this as well. I'll show you that. And I have a camera on it so you can quickly see when I hit publish and make changes, it'll show up on the kiosk. Now this is a real working kiosk, and I will select an option, so floor 5, and it says use elevator C. So it's a working kiosk and it's simulating a real elevator. On this particular project I have 14 floors and 4 elevators as being simulated, so that's what we'll see as we walk through it. So this is the opening screen after I log in, and you can see I'm just using a web browser, Google Chrome, and I've accessed the web link for the Design Center server that's sitting on the building network, and I was able to authenticate into this with a username and password. This is the first screen I see. It shows me recent events. I've been changing quite a few kiosks here recently, so you can see all those recent events and what has been logged in the system. Also on the left, it shows me the different groups and buildings I have access to. Now, Design Center is set up to be very flexible. It can work for one group of elevators, or it can work for an entire building or multiple buildings that could be set up for your configuration. So if you manage a campus that has multiple buildings with multiple elevator groups on it, you can access all of those from Design Center's single login here. And so this is with a screen that you'll select the building and the group that you want to edit. Now when you do edit the kiosk, you do edit on a group level. So if I have 4 elevators, and that would be considered a group, and they're at 14 floors. So I can edit all those kiosks in one single click here, and I'll show you that in a second. So the sample project we're going to be working on is called Agile Demo Group 1, and I'll go ahead and be able to select this, and that'll take me to the next screen. This next screen gives me the ability to see what kiosk I can edit. Again, this is a sample project, so I only have 5 kiosks active, but if I had 50 kiosks, I would see all those, and I'd be able to edit all those at one time. We have this quick selection button up here called Select All. You can see the green arrows, or excuse me, the green check boxes, or I can deselect them, and if I wanted to quickly unselect several, I can pinpoint select. It's one of the great features about Design Center is it's very flexible. If you just want to select one kiosk, you can. If you want to select them all, you can deselect them. Notice this is kiosk 1 at floor L, kiosk 2 at floor L, 3, 4, 5. So I can select all the kiosks on one floor. Maybe I have a tenant at a certain floor and I'd like to customize the design of the kiosk just for them. Maybe I want to brand it for their company, their branding guidelines for their company. That's a nice perk you can do. Or you might want to change it for the lobby floor, just even pinpoint a specific kiosk and change that. Now, since I have one on the camera, I'm going to focus in on one kiosk here, and that's kiosk 1 at floor L. Okay, I come to this screen, and this is the next things I can do. You can see the menu of options on the left-hand side of the screen of what I can change. So these are the different items I can work through and change. On the right-hand side, it tells me which kiosk and on what floor I'm editing. Now, if I had multiple kiosks, it would give me a list of all those that I'm editing at a single time. And we have 2 different styles or sizes of kiosk, and I can also edit those simultaneously as well. So it's going to give me the ability to see and alter between those different designs, because the screen sizes could affect the design a little bit differently. So you'll get a good preview of those a different kiosk at the same time. On this one, I'm just changing our large kiosk, so it just has one view for me here. Now this is also a live destination demonstration, so if I click on a floor, it's going to show me what that next screen is going to look like, so I can also understand how the design's impacted on that as well. I'll show you more about that here in just a bit. So the first thing you can do is change a theme, so I'll just select that and go in there. it comes up with these 3 images that I can select. Instructional text, floor buttons, and special areas. So you can see that follows with what I have over here right now. We also have a layout style that allows you to have a message across the top, or it gives you the option to have a logo across the top. So you can see here I can toggle between the different layout styles. For this demonstration, I like the message, so I'm going to go ahead and choose that, and I'll show you how that works here in just a little bit. From there, I'm able to select a color scheme. So down below, I can select each of these and get a quick preview of the color scheme that I'd like to have. Now, color scheme is going to cover this instructional area, what the background color is, where the buttons go, maybe the style of the buttons, so a light gray with a dark gray font inside of it. I can do the black with blue, so it's a little more bold. The background's just there for representation purpose here, because you can always change the background in later screens, which I'll show you. Or I can select a light theme, or this kind of dark with this transparent and dark buttons. I like that, a lot of contrast. It's a good look. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this one. In order to do that, I need to hit publish. So before I hit publish, I'm going to bring up the kiosk screen because I'd like you to see how this instantly goes out to the kiosk. I'm going to hit publish now. So it's processing and it says successfully published to the kiosk. You can see how the kiosk was updated to show the change. That's great. That's how easy it is. Something to mention is the kiosk is momentarily out of service while the publishing takes place, but it's just for a brief moment, and then it comes back up and it's available. Okay, so I have this new style going with a new color scheme. And I'm going to go ahead and go back because I have additional options. The next thing I can do in the list is change message. I'm going to come back to that here in a bit and get to change background. I think that's a fun part of this, and it really shows the power and how quickly you can make changes and publish those out to your kiosk. So just to quickly show you, I've selected this really cool like 3D technology looking background. I'm going to publish it so you can just quickly see how it is directly published to the kiosk, and now I have a completely new theme going on. Let's bring back this screen here, and again I can see I have a preview over here, elevator A, white letters. I like that look. However, we know that there's probably not enough images we can add in here that would suit your design needs or the customization that you would like to have. So we have an option for you to upload your own. And I went ahead and uploaded or created several different designs that I really like. And so I'm going to go ahead and just pick this blue one and update it here. And what it does is it brings up this menu. Now, not all images may be the proper resolution and aspect ratio to fit the screen that you've selected. In this particular case, you can see we have more of a portrait orientation image for us to upload, and you get 3 options: cancel, use unedited image, so I could just select this, let this whole image go in, or I could crop a section out if I wanted to just take a portion of it. I like this whole image, so rather than trying to drag the red box and make it fit, I can just use unedited image because I know I've already properly designed it for this aspect ratio of 768 by 1040, excuse me. You can see that I like the look of that. That's pretty slick. I'm going to publish that, so we'll look at that on the screen. And you can see I have this nice blue box pattern going on with the dark buttons. It's a nice looking screen. I like that. A couple of the things you can do on this page is you could choose a solid fill color if you wanted to do that. Maybe you wanted to do all white and then have a nice message across the top, or you wanted to add a logo across the top and really have that maximum contrast. You could do that. Maybe you wanted to have the darker grays. So many different solids you can choose down here. One of the things too is if you wanted to upload many different photos, which I have on this particular application here, what if you wanted to have your own building back there? So I have this photo of the building. I've already uploaded it, and I can just see what that looks like, and I can publish that. So I'm going to bring up the kiosk, and you can see here how quickly I was able to take a photo of the building, publish it in the background. Now we've just branded this kiosk to match our building design and really show it off. We could add a logo to the image at the top up here and make it look really nice. So there's many possibilities here, and you can just really do all the different customization you would like within the image. Have some different ones. Maybe it's good for a condo with a beach in the background. So many options here. Change it out for the seasons. I like this wood background. I think it's clean and easy, creates a lot of contrast. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit publish on that one. And again, you'll see it go straight to the kiosk, and the kiosk is updated. That looks nice. I'm gonna proceed with this one for now and keep going here. Now the next thing I'm gonna go into is change maps. Change maps is the next screen that comes up after I select a button. Right now you can see that floor 5, when I select that, it goes to a white A. That's this one that I have selected right now. If I wanted to maybe change that to a blue A or a different color, I can do that. This little button right here is a preview button that allows me to preview what this will look like. One of the other things though is a wayfinder map. The system automatically generates these 3D wayfinder maps. This is a perspective view of what it looks like with 4 elevators next to each other. So I'll hit this button again. We have a bird's eye view, kind of an overview that allows you to see the top of it. Or you can scroll down and see different designs we have in here. Really, I'm going to call them color schemes. So we have this 3D bird's eye, this wayfinder kind of 3D perspective view. And we also have the ability to select just a single letter, which is what I previously had. I really like this 3D view here. I think it's neat. Kind of shows me where I am, and it tells me where to go. Kind of gives me a path there. So I'm going to select that one and publish it. Before I do, I'm going to pull up the kiosk and show it to you again and select one. You can see right now we just have the single letter in white. I'm going to publish this new selection here, and you'll see that the kiosk gets updated, and as I make a selection, I now have a new call allocation screen with this 3D wayfinder map showing me where to go. So very easy, quick change, flexible. It can be great for a building that has a pedestal mounted kiosk that's maybe a little far away, and it needs to kind of show them and route them to the proper elevator. So great option there. One of the next things you can do is, it's really one of my favorite things you can do, is you can change the buttons and the arrangement that we have on the buttons. And you can see right now the kiosk has just a 10 keypad arrangement right now, similar to your phone. We have the option to have a scrolling list. So if you have more than the floor buttons that fit on the screen, a scrolling list is a great option. I'm going to select this and hit publish. You can see here that the kiosk just changed to a scrolling list, and I have 14 floors, so I'm just going to be able to scroll up and down and see all those quickly. A great application for a building with multiple floors, and you want to have all the buttons the same size and give them equal weight. So that's a great option for you. This next one's one of my favorites, where you can select a custom button design. And this then opens up the button configuration menu down below. And I'm able to come down here and I have a few different options. I can turn floors on or off. So I can turn these on or off. Now this isn't a security function. It's more of just a customization of the kiosk function. In some applications, you may have a kiosk that doesn't need to serve all floors that's in the building. Maybe it's just going to go to an observation deck, and you just want to have a few floors shown so it's very easy to use for the public that comes in, and there's no confusion about the floors that they can't access. And so it gives you the ability to quickly turn different floors off, and you can see how the buttons then scale appropriately and adjust as they go. I know it's a myth to keep 13, so I'll just go ahead and turn 13 off just so we can show you that. Another thing that you can do is, I'll scroll down all the way to the bottom, you can see these different ones, is I can change the size of these buttons as well. If I wanted the top floor to be maybe a medium size, you can see how that then fills into a medium button. Maybe I want to change it to a large button. No problem. That's great. You can do that. You even have the ability to change the label. So I'm going to go ahead and customize this and say, I want this to be the ThyssenKrupp floor at the top here. And I'm going to make a couple other changes as we go. I'd like for the bottom floor to be large, maybe the second and the third floor to be large as well. So you can see what we have going on here in the design, and so what that kind of looks like. Maybe I want to turn that 13 back on so I have all of them. Maybe I want to make it a larger button and or small. You can see I'm going to come down here and change, so let's say this floor 6 to be a little bit larger just for fun, so we have all the different options available for us. With this change made, I'm going to go ahead and publish this to the kiosk. So pull up that kiosk, hit publish, wait for it, and we can see that quickly the screen updated. Now, something to mention about the screen on the kiosk is that lower button has a different look to it. That's the disabled look for the button, so the inactive look, I guess I should say, because this kiosk is at floor L, so you can't go to floor L. It doesn't show me that preview over in the application, but I do wanted to make note to why it has a different look than the other ones. So coming back here to the application, now that I've made the floor button arrangements that I'd like, I'm going to do the next thing. If you notice that I didn't really label any of the other ones, so let's just go ahead and give them a little bit more intuitive name. Maybe I want this one to be parking, and the third floor I'd like to make fitness. So sometimes it's nice to have the labels on the buttons, and it gives you the ability to quickly make these changes and add the label that you would like for it to have. Now that floor 6, let's just say there's a cafe on that floor, and I wanted to bring a little more emphasis to it, so I made it a medium-sized button, added the word cafe, and you can see these changes we made. Now that's not it. You can do more. You could use, on the large buttons, we have the ability to add an image. So you can see here, I can select an image. I want to add the ThyssenKrupp logo. So this is a white logo on a transparent background. It's really hard to see because the application is just showing you the white on white, so it doesn't show it. I know where it is, it's right there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit crop, and I get a preview of the ThyssenKrupp logo coming in here on this floor. Now this could be used for any of your tenants, and you could add their logo for customization. It may not be for a tenant's logo. It could be just to help identify what it is. So let's take, for instance, fitness. I'm going to go ahead and select an image for fitness, and I have this this white dumbbell looking thing. I know that it's already set to the size that I'm looking for, so I'm going to use the unedited image of it, and it pops that dumbbell in there. And then just for fun, I'm going to add an image of a kind of a circle with a P, which is universal for parking. So I have a nice icon here that makes the kiosk a little more intuitive and easier to identify these kind of main floors I wanted to bring extra emphasis to. So with that, those changes made, I'm going to quickly hit publish. Okay, so you can see that in just a few moments time, I've completely changed the design and makeup of this kiosk. Changed the theme, the layout, the colors, the background, changed the button sizes, gone to a custom button arrangement, changed labels for certain floors, added icons, branded it with a ThyssenKrupp logo there on that top floor, and just quickly have made many changes with this application. So next I'm going to take us into the settings area and go back here to the next few options that we have available. So this one down here is change dock configuration. This is the dock configuration at the bottom here. Currently it has a question mark, that's our help, and a wheel for a gear that stands for settings. You can see I can turn those on or off if I so desire, but I have many other options active on this particular project. I have a language option, VIP, Code Blue, Express. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on language and VIP. But I know that I always want the language on the left. It's just easiest. I'm going to train my tenants so it's always on the left, and so I can move that around and make sure it's there. Next to language, I'd like to have the help and then the settings. So I want VIP to be on the far right. So now I just was able to order these, turn them on, and then order them. So I'm going to hit publish here, pull up the kiosk. So you can see that now the dock just got changed with the additional features that I've activated on this kiosk. I'm going to go back. And from there, the last thing I can do, well, it's not the last because we can still change the message, but the next thing I'll do is you have access to kiosk setting. So I'm going to select that and come to this screen. You can see here I have the ability to make many different changes to the kiosk settings. I can turn auto brightness on or off, and auto brightness is great because it's going to allow you to dim the kiosk based off the ambient light levels. So the kiosk is equipped with an ambient light sensor. It can sense how much light is in the room and the environment around it. And with auto brightness turned on, it's going to adjust the screen brightness so that it's at an optimal level, and it also allows you to preserve brightness or life of the screen in lower light situations. The kiosk is designed for 50,000 hours of full brightness. So with auto brightness turned on, and the kiosk is, if it's in a lower light area, doesn't need to be as bright, so therefore it's going to extend the life of that kiosk. You can also change the volume, turn the proximity sensor on or off. This proximity sensor works hand in hand with the standby enable. So the kiosk has the ability, with this turned on, to go into a standby mode, which dims the screen substantially. It doesn't make it completely turn off, but it does dim the screen while that's enabled, and you can set the time down here for how long you want that to last before it turns into a standby mode. This changes in 60-second increments, so I could change that to 60 seconds if I wanted it to dim very quickly, or the default was 3,000. So I can just change it there and keep that at 3,000. You can also adjust the map timeout, which is the screen that shows you this map. On the Wayfinder map, I suggest about 4 seconds for someone to really get their bearings down and see which way to go. If you just had a single letter designation, you could even bring this down to maybe 2 seconds, and that's going to make the turnover at the kiosk a lot faster. So if you have a queuing problem at your kiosk, you can maybe go to a single letter designation for the call allocation screen. Then you have the map timeout. You can make that lower, maybe 2 seconds. So people are going to be able to hit the button, get their elevator, and keep moving and keep the traffic flow going for their kiosk. Something I skipped over was keypad click. You can turn that on or off. You can make those changes quickly and easily here from this screen. Now again, I could do one kiosk, I could do the entire building's kiosk, or just a few floors at a time, and I can hit publish there and make those changes to the kiosk, and successfully published. Okay, I'm going to go back now to the one that I skipped over at the beginning, which was change theme, or excuse me, change message. This gives me the ability to enter a custom message. This could be used daily, weekly. It could be used to just say happy holidays or 4th of July, or whatever the case may be. You can enter a message there and you can customize it. So I'll just say welcome to the demo. I have the ability to center the content, change the font size, and it'll update the font size. If I have different languages active on this, I have 4 different languages active. I can change the message for each language so that it's, as the languages get changed, I can have a different message for each one. I could change the color if I wanted to, change to a different color. You can do that as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and just publish this message so you can see it go on the screen. Processing, and successfully published to the screen. Now I have welcome to the demo quickly added to the top. So again, you can use this to customize your kiosk, to get a message out to all your tenants, and communicate to them more effectively with the kiosk and this technology, and leverage that as you go. With that said, that rounds out just a basic demonstration of the changes you can make with Design Center, and the flexibility, the customization, the intuitive nature of it, and customize for your tenants. I'm Paul Harrison. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.